Mm. Just a second, it's getting setting up for the YouTube live. In fact, the pain point for you has, I'll tell you, Punish. Just wait. Pain point for you has, great. Yes. So can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
That's great. So welcome, guys. Welcome to this day 5 for the Skill Booster session. In fact, we have something very interesting today, which is how to make a design presentation. You can switch on your camera, Punish, okay?
Sir, it's enable views.
It's not able to enable. Just a second. I'll just help you out to enable, okay? No problem. Okay. Yeah, you can do it now. Cool. So this is one of the amazing skill what people are nowadays missing out. In fact, a lot of people have asked me how you can make a presentation better. In fact, one of our student also asked this question, how to make the design presentation better, how to create better. So because every time what happens is designers who are making some case studies or making their portfolio, so inherently they have a thought, they have the pressure inside them saying, my presentation needs to go good. My presentation needs to come well, right? So that is the inherent pressure people got. In fact, I thought of teaching this particular topic because of that reason. Okay. And I'm also going to break down certain misconceptions as well as myth, as well as the science behind why presentation is very important and what is exactly mean by making it beautiful. Okay. Let's see that. So let me share my screen so that you will understand. Yes. So my screen is visible, right,
Yes,
Manish?
sir.
Great. Okay. So here, let me make it very clear. Already we have made 4 days. Okay, this is the day 5, which is called designer presentation. See, there is nothing difference between presentation and a design presentation. Okay, presentation is itself same for everybody. To be very correct, what you wanted to communicate, you have to tell to the audience. That is called presentation, right? You don't have to make it like a designer presentation. So designer means the presentation should be like this, that, and all. There is nothing like that. So there is one inherent pressure built by the students on their own, but that is not required. First, whatever you're trying to say, you have to tell clearly. That is mean by communication. The aesthetics, what you add on top of it, that is secondary. The elements which you bring on top of it, that is additional. That is like that can be done or that may not have been done. That is totally fine. But what you want to intended to say is called communication. It's called presentation, right? So to be very correct, I can remember one quote from Leonardo da Vinci. You know what he said? So there is a quote from Leonardo da Vinci. Okay. So that quote, he mentioned, uh, simplicity is the actual sophistication. A lot of people might not know this. A lot of people will think making very, very complex design is the actual thing. Making complex presentation, adding a lot of data is the actual thing. No, this is very different. In fact, he said the more simple you make, the difficult it is. Are you guys getting it? It is more difficult to make simple things. It's not easy. That is the reason a lot of people are not doing that. If it's that easy, everybody else would have did it, right? Let's take an example of Apple. Have you seen the interface?
Yes,
Type
sir.
out in the chat. What do you think about it? You can go to the YouTube and type out Punish. Okay. What do you think about Apple interface? Have you seen any Apple interface which is not good, which is very complex, which is having a lot of elements? Because they understand what is really required for the user, and then they make a user-centric design, and then they make it very minimal. That itself is
Okay, what do you think about Apple?
so it is very vital. In fact, I thought of taking you one case study for that. So let me do it. No issues. But Apple is one of the big case studies which I would bring here. The reason being the presentation what they make, even in their keynote presentation, even in their product presentation, even in the product which you buy. Like let's say I'm using one of the Apple mouse. Okay, there is no button visible here. There is no scroll button available here for the mouse scroll. You will have to just use your finger. Automatically, it recognizes your gesture. There is nothing available, just a flat surface. This is called presentation. What is mean by design presentation is simplicity. Simplicity is the actual sophistication. Whether you like it or not, you have to bring it to your design. How do you make it simple, Jagdish? It takes a lot of efforts. Takes a lot of efforts. It takes a lot of time consumption. In fact, the more simpler you make, the more time it will take for your project to execute. Because from 10 elements, you will cut down to 5 elements. From 5 elements, you will cut down to 3 elements. From 3 elements, you will cut down to 1 element. Why don't I have only one button phone? Why is this first button required? Can I communicate it even without a button? So if you apply this level of thinking, that becomes simplicity. Same you can apply for your design presentation as well. Whatever you're trying to say, can I use visual picture to create it? On top of it, should I add any text? On top of it, should I add any data? So the more questions you ask, the better your communication will become. A lot of people think moving here and there is called design. Moving here and there is called design presentation. That is called graphic design work. Even graphic designer has to think this. Then only they can make a simple presentation. If graphic designer is also not using this thought process or methodology, they will also end up making something very complex. I have been seeing a lot of portfolios every single day. I have been also working with a lot of my students. What I can see is they are trying to fight with the screen, putting the pictures here, adding the text here, bringing some elements here, adding some graphs here. It's not the fight between you and the screen. It's ultimately the fight within yourself. What is the communication what you're trying to make? Are you trying to say this is simple? Are you trying to say this product is functional or usable? What is your intended communication you'll have to ultimately bring to the stage? If you are not able to bring to the stage, let me tell you what will happen. People will get confused what you're trying to say. People will become super confused. What is this person really trying to say? Yeah, he has made a big case study. He has made a big work, but they don't know how to go and pick your important element. You have not guided them properly. The very first information, what I would say, if you want to bring your design presentation wonderful, is simplicity. I already told you. The second one is giving a flow, giving a direction, giving a purpose of why they wanted to really go and see your work. If you're not able to bring this, people will be lost. They will feel bored. They will not be interested to come and see your presentation. Okay. So understand the science and psychology behind why somebody is viewing your portfolio. Okay. There are many audience which you can really think. If you're presenting someone, if your design presentation is for some manager, or if your design presentation is for some HR, your design presentation is for a recruiter, your design presentation is for your internal team. It doesn't matter. Science is same, process is same. You'll have to understand this because a lot of people think I need to make a lot of different things. Then and only I need to, then and only I can be what you call making this presentation better. No, that is not the case. The real case is unless you make it very simple and intended to say what you're intending to say, people will not connect with you. The advantage of upfront communicating things is if somebody is not resonating with your design presentation, or maybe if they don't like this topic, they may move out of this presentation immediately. Maybe that is your profile is not required there. It's better to avoid that. That is why simple communication will tell this very clearly. Hey, you're looking for graphic designer, right? I'm not a graphic designer. So you can mention that very clearly in your presentation. If you're making a case study, if you're saying, I did only the final, what you call landing page, I did not do any process, tell them. It's a simple tryout exercise and activity. Activity one, you can put there. So when you set the expectation clear in your portfolio, that is a simple, fair, direct communication for a presenter. Okay. A lot of people don't have this honesty to communicate it. They just complicate it to make it look good. But in the end, you're not objectively getting whatever you're intending to say. That is the true. That is the truth. Okay. So let me tell you guys, what is the overview of this thing? The key aspects and importance of this presentation, because a lot of people has to understand this as well. Just a second, guys. Just a second. We'll also make it very short so that it is very simple for you as well to understand. Okay, good. Fine. So what is the skill overview? First of all, communicating of your ideas. Okay, so I already told you many things. We can able to even add that as well. Okay, in fact, you can say a connect, a flow should be there in your story. Okay, a purpose should be intended in your communication. Okay, and it should be having engagement. Okay, so these are all the things inherently needed for a presentation. In fact, I would say these are all the things which is very, very important. I would put it as a first here. Okay, then we'll talk about little in depth, which is called communication of your ideas. What is your stakeholders requirement? Are you communicating through your process? Okay, are you communicating your ideas? Make sure that is very clearly seen. If you want to communicate an idea, show that idea clearly. A process, show that process clearly. So first you be clear. Like, let's say your use case could be showing to the portfolio to the recruiter. Don't put it in your public forum or anything. Make sure you're sending it to the recruiter with that clear communication and intention. Let's say if you want to put in your website, there you can have all the information, no problem. In your website itself, you can able to ask people, are you a designer? Are you a, what you call, are you a recruiter? You can able to ask that question. And then you can create one hyperlink for this two people. If they say, if they are a recruiter, you can just click that hyperlink and your website could redirect it to a different page where you're only showing the final metrics of your project. Because what HR wants, how much skill you have, how much experience you have, are you capable of doing it? That is a pre-check what they'll do. If somebody is a design recruiter, if there's somebody is a design head, then they need some technical details. For them, you can have a separate hyperlink. Inside your website itself, you can create that. In Wix or anywhere, if you're creating, you can create a hyperlink so that your entire page is redirected there. Instead of generically showing, you are making it very simple and to the point. See, this is called purpose. Okay. So your purpose is to get hired. Okay. Your purpose is to show work. Your purpose is to communicate to only one person. Your use case could be very different, guys. Maybe you're communicating with your teammates. Maybe you're communicating with your boss. So maybe you're communicating with your client. So please make your intention very clear when you're starting, because that determines how your quality of presentation will be. Okay, let's come to the tools part later, but I'm making you understand why it is so vital to get this part first. Okay, so then comes client engagement, then comes visual storytelling. Okay, so you can use storytelling to guide the audience. Those are not fine. I'll take a separate skill on how to build a story for a designer, how you can build a story for being a designer. If you're building a story, you need to have a hero. If you're building a story, you need to have a final goal, what your hero is going to achieve. If you're building a story, you need to show after your hero reaches your final goal, what is the afterlife. How to build a story for a designer. How you can build a story for being a designer. Okay, fine. After life, how we can enjoy this after achieving his goal. After goal, life he enjoys. And if you are building a story, you need to have an enemy, a villain. Okay, Jagdish, am I writing some movie or am I writing some case study? No, you are actually writing a case study with this format. I'll teach you separately. That's a very deep topic. Okay, because if you have a storytelling ability, you can able to make any case study interesting, guys. This is an amazing part of it. Okay, because a lot of people expect some kind of a connect in your projects and everything, right? For that, I'm telling you, but that's not necessarily required. First of all, make your communication simple. Let's come to the advanced part little later. A lot of people have a problem here itself. Okay, so let's understand that first before going into some advanced topics. Okay, now let's go to the second part. What are the tools which is available? See, I'm just suggesting you some tools, guys. It doesn't mean you'll have to only use this. Okay, I'm just making it what you call some of the tools which I know proficiently can be used. Okay, in fact, I'm going to suggest you some more tools as well. There is something called Keynote. People are using MacBook, people are using iMac, people are using Apple devices. Keynote is a very good presentation. People are using Windows. PowerPoint is a great presentation. See, I'll tell you why. because some of the transition templates and animations can be made more. In fact, in the online tools like Google presentation or Google PPT also you can use, but the way in which these tools are built is exclusively for that. Okay, so maybe you can tell the Google PPT is for online. Okay, it's an online live edit, but PowerPoint and Keynote is for the people who are using in their desktop. That is why the features are very high in PowerPoint and Keynote. The reason being, you can able to use your laptop even without an internet. But for a Google PPT, you need an internet. Okay, so the features will also be a little limited. You need to understand that. So choose your medium carefully. Let's say if you are traveling, if you're using multiple devices, if you're in office, if you're wanted to present to your team and all, it is better to use online presentations. Okay, there is something called Microsoft OneDrive. Okay, you can sync your PowerPoint, which is live presentation, and do it. Okay, if you're using Google PPT, you can use this online method to try to sync it. So this is very important. Some features will be limited, but we will have to adjust with that. Okay, and yeah, so designer friendly features, like let's say Keynote and animation and other things provide some SVG files. That means it's a vector based files. Okay, it provides you some embedded images as well. SVG files provides the option of changing your colors. It can able to scale up and scale down. Some of the images, when you scale up, what happens is the pixels get broken. Okay, so choose your medium carefully. If you want a high quality presentation, I would always recommend to use your desktop version. Okay, I would always recommend to use your PowerPoint and Keynote because the quality of presentation will be very, very high. Okay, and second is learning curve. User friendly with quick templates for professional presentation. For the Keynote and PowerPoint, you have a ready-made templates like anything. If you take a Keynote, okay, I'll open also. Okay, I've been using Keynote for the last 8 years, guys. Recently, I've switched to Windows. Again, I'm back to the Mac. Keynote is one of the amazing presentation. I'll tell you why. Because in Keynote, the communication what it offers is so simple and seamlessly fast. It is simple as well as fast because a lot of the things what you're doing it in the Microsoft PPT, okay, it is directly available as a template there. Okay, I mean maybe I can take a separate walkthrough, but not here. Okay, but you can able to test and try it out. It's a very simple tool, and also same goes for PowerPoint. PowerPoint is not like before. In the last two versions of the PowerPoint, they have brought a lot of features for animation, for graphics. Even you can record a video inside a PPT. If you wanted to tell something, if you wanted to take a new way of explaining that concept, you can able to embed a video there. You can able to create a presentation overlay also there. So a lot of features has been there. Try and explore that. Okay. Yes. So Google Slides, I think I have covered here, right? Okay. So this is a designer friendly tool. The learning curve is very easy. Yeah. And there is something called supports Figma, imports real-time collaboration and sharing via links. So Google Slides also has an advantage of supporting Figma. Okay, and it also many collaborative tools inside this, guys. In fact, there are a lot of tools which you can come and integrate here. You can integrate your Google Excel sheet here. You can integrate your Google image here. If you want, you can integrate your Figma files also here. So people who are very proficient in Figma, they can use this feature to integrate it. Okay, go to the file menu, try to import these files directly here. Okay, or you can just drag and drop and see. Every tool is capable of drag and dropping, guys. You guys have to do it. Okay, so if you're just opening the screen, okay, if you're just moving your screen here and there, just go and drag and drop it. Don't use the feature file import. It's all very old school approach. Okay. You can use Canva. Canva is a beautiful tool. The reason why I'm telling you is Canva offers a lot of inbuilt features inside itself. If you want to use image, you don't have to open Google tab or Google Chrome or Safari browser to bring that image. Canva has everything in the left hand side itself. That is a great advantage. In fact, Canva is very, very low cost, guys. If you are a designer, I would highly recommend to invest in this tool. It's not a big cost. Don't tell it's expensive. If you want to make your quality presentations better, you will have to invest a little bit. In fact, Canva is the most effective tool, I would say. Okay. Some of the tools like Photoshop are really expensive. You're going for the industry, your industry itself will provide that. But for now, you don't need that. You just need a Canva. Okay. Start using the free account. Slowly you can able to use a premium one. Okay. Designer friendly features, pre-built templates, icons, a lot of things is there, guys. Even in the Canva, you can do video editing. Okay, you can do PPT, you can do documentation, you can use poster creation. Okay, you can use box presentation. Some of you know what is box presentation. Okay, they want to present something like a form of a product. Okay, some of you know what is meant by mock-up presentation. Let's say if you want to use a mug, your presentation should be in a mug. If you want to use your presentation in a notebook, if you want a presentation in the form of a water bottle, so you can import that image into that mock-up, which is already available, to showcase as if a real product is getting manufactured or designed. See, Canva is a beautiful way to present all this information. Okay, it doesn't require any learning curve, guys. It's not even a low learning curve. There is no learning curve, I would say. Just in first go itself, you can use this Canva, no problem at all. Okay, yes, then you can use for designer friendly presentation. Like, let's say if you want to pitch some highly customizable Slack, Notion, that itself is possible. Okay, you can use Slack is a very good way to present, but the learning curve is slightly higher. Okay, but the customizability is very, very high. You can use something called Notion. Okay, you can use something called Medium. Like, let's say, Medium is a blog. I'm extremely sorry. Slack and Notion is a great way to present. Okay, I'll also suggest you one more thing. There is something called InVision. There is something called Miro. Okay, in fact, I'll put it here. Okay, this is one of the good. There is something called FigJam. These are also can be presented. Okay, and Miro, there is an option called frames. If you decide your frames clearly, what is the order you wanted to bring your presentation, you can able to easily do it. Okay, and yeah, it requires some level of basic understanding. You need to go to Miro, you need to arrange some frames, and you need to go for the left hand side and check it out how you can arrange your frames. Even you can arrange the frames in 16:9 ratio if your presentation screen is like that way. Okay, and then you can order it 1, 2, 3. The moment if you click 1, 2, 3, automatically that order will come. In fact, there are a lot of plugins available in ChatGPT also, where you can import the Miro's presentation and directly get us an output there. Yeah, it's possible because many tools interact with each other. Okay, if you go to Miro, if you can go for this option called like, let's say, add applications, you can find a lot of applications pre-built. PPT is pre-built, YouTube is pre-built. Okay, the moment if you put YouTube, you can put your YouTube video so that in Miro your YouTube video will play. So it is becoming so seamless, guys. You will have to try all these tools. Then only your presentation can look very, very high quality. Okay, so I hope everybody gets this point. Okay, are you all with me, guys? Type out of the chat if you are with me. Jagdish, I'm getting whatever you're following. Maybe it is too fast, too slow. Type out of the chat. Let us understand. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not able to see any comments. Guys, are you commenting? Please go ahead.
Comment.
Comment your yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Yes. But I'm not seeing your chat. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Punish, I can see. Yes, Tilagan, you can try Figma slides as well. That is a very good question. You can try Figma slides. In fact, in our program itself, a lot of people knows this. Okay, you can try. In fact, in Figma, there is a plugin which recently I come across. You can find in our program also here inside. So that plugin, I exactly don't know the name of the plugin. There is a plugin inside Figma. Okay, if you run that plugin, it will exactly scrape away all of your presentations, and then it will automatically create a very good presentation inside Figma. But what happens is that plugin crashes many times, and it also takes longer time. You need to have a high-end system to execute it. That is the only drawback of it. Or else you can try that. Okay, if I'm remembering, I'll tell you that name. Okay, that is actually an inbuilt plugin. Ideally, it is not recommended to always use plugin, but sometimes for some purpose we can use that. Okay, because the plugins sometimes does many of your automated and repetitive tasks inside your app, so you can very well use it. Okay, for presentation. Yes, good. So now let's go for essential elements for a designer. First of all, why would a designer need this presentation? First of all, a designer needs a presentation to showcase his problem statement. Very, very first use case, guys. Simple. So you need to state your problem statement clearly, right? For that, you need pictures, you need visuals, you need graphs, you need statistics, you need data. So a lot of information is needed for you. For that, you need presentation. Second, you need to showcase your process. Right? You need to showcase your wireframes, prototypes to explain your solutions very clearly to the people. You need a high quality visuals, mock-up. That is the reason I'm asking you to use Canva, because Canva uses a high quality presentations, and it uses some high quality visuals and 3D renderings and everything. Okay. So ensure your visuals are very high quality. First, we talked about simplicity. Now we are talking about quality. In that simple visual, how quality your image should be. Don't put some pixelated image. Don't put some drag and drop from the Google and just put it. Save it properly in your desktop sometimes and check for the resolution and then try it out. Sometimes in drag and drop, this drawback happens. If you're making a quick presentation, if you're not worried about the quality, that's okay. But if you're making a high quality presentation, which is going to be projected in a bigger screens, you have to be mindful while you're choosing the quality of the image. Okay. Yes. Next is a high quality, ensure clean image. Okay. Storytelling. We'll see very detailedly later. But ultimately, the basics I told you: hero, villain, goal, afterlife. If you're able to mix this, you can able to bring a great story. Very, very important. You need to have a call to action. Why are you making this presentation? Ultimately, you will have to bring them to your interview call, right? Ultimately, you have to bring them to your website landing page. Ultimately, you have to bring them to your interview. I mean, for people, I'm saying design presentation, you'll have to bring them to the recruiter, to the interview. If you're making a design presentation for the client, ultimately your call to action is to make the customer purchase your service, make the client take your project. Your call to action should be very clear. Okay. Make sure in the last slide, okay, you've seen my presentation, so and so. So what would you like to do? Can we take it forward for the interview? Can I give a presentation inside your company again? Can we sign up for a project? So you need to ask that ability to make a call to action. We are not making a presentation just for the sake of presentation, guys. A very clear designer presentation should have a call to action. If you're not having call to action, you're doing some random charity work. Charity work is good, but first you'll have to get some result before you give to others, right? You need to have something with you. You cannot always be a charity guy. You have to understand you need to get some results first. Then only you can give for the others. So you need to secure a good job. You need to secure a good position in design. You need to secure a very good credential in your design career in order to first set your life. Ultimately, call to action is very important. A lot of people don't do it. Okay, they just make it for some sake of presentation. That's it. So that's not correct. Okay, so think about it. Now let's go for the neuroscience background of it. See, guys, this is very important. I particularly like this. Visual learning. 65% of the people are visual learners. So visual improves information retention. The more you're making visual presentation, the better people will be able to grasp your content. That is why I'm telling you, use a lot of pictures, high quality renders and materials and simple diagrams and elements. Don't use very complex shapes. A lot of people think if I use complex shape only, I will be a great presenter. Let me make it very simple, guys. See, I'll give you one basic tips for this. Simple, primitive shapes. Okay. Plain colors. Okay. Simple graphs. You can use something called law of three. This is very important. Okay. In your screen, at any point of time, you need to have three elements. Like, let's say if you're having three pictures, if you're having three stats, if you're having three paragraphs, if you're having three videos, that would be more than sufficient. Law of three works everywhere. Okay. If you use simple graphs, simple colors, simple primitive shapes, and use law of three, your presentation is better than 80% of already all the designers. Moreover, 65% of the people are very good visual learners. So use these elements very carefully. Instead of just stuffing out with a lot of paragraphs, making inconsistency inside it, try to understand. Second, cognitive load. Organize your information to reduce cognitive load and improve message processing. The moment if you simplify this information, a lot of people will subconsciously feel very happy while they are seeing your presentation. How many of you are getting blown away? Jagdish, I really made this mistake. I put a lot of heavy content in my PPT. That is why somewhere it looks problem. The reason is you have not simplified it. You have not organized it. This is most important. Your cognitive load of the user will go high when you're not doing it properly. Okay, this is very important. The neuroscience understanding is most vital. Okay. Then how to improve your presentation. See, these are all the general things. I already told you a lot more things. Okay. You can reduce the text. You can in fact increase your visuals. In fact, I would say I can make it as a point as well. Okay. Reduce text. Increase visuals. Okay. Because more visuals, less text helps reduce cognitive load and improves retention. This is very important. Use storytelling narrative. I already told you that. Okay. Because active multiple parts of the brain through storytelling for better retention. When storytelling skill comes, I'll teach you very detailing, guys. Don't worry. Okay. Yes. Let us understand some statistics also. Visually content is processed faster. Visuals are processed 60,000 faster than the text according to a research. Because we subconsciously get a lot of information when somebody is presenting visual skills. Okay. Audience engagement. 91% of the people feel that presentation with more visuals are more engaging. That is why if you take all TEDx presentation, if you take all keynote presentation in TEDx, it will all be visuals. There is nothing complication there. People will try to bring very simple elements here. One line, one picture, law of three. If you understand this, your design presentation will go up in the next level. Okay. There are many AI tools also, guys. So you can use a tool called beautiful.ai. Okay. In fact, it's actually paid one. I would say initially you don't have to try. Okay. You can try a tool called gamma.ai, which is a very, very beautiful tool. In fact, if I wanted to give you a small presentation in Gamma, okay, maybe I can stop sharing my screen. Maybe I can share my entire, okay. Can you see here? You can go here, okay. If you want to generate a presentation, okay, like let's say if you want to showcase a presentation in the form of okay, we want to showcase presentation. What is mean by WCAG guidelines? Okay, look at this. What's happening? This is a beautiful tool, guys. Okay, if you want to create a presentation, you can create this mode. If you are building content for your website, you can create it. If you're creating a document, you can use this method. Okay, just generate. What happens? ChatGPT and the AI tools are inbuilt available here. Okay, so what Gamma does is it goes and understands what is the topic which you're asking, and it's already produced output. Can you see? You don't have to worry about presentation, guys. This is a mind-blowing tool. In next 2 minutes, you guys are going to get blown away because if you use these tools, your design presentation quality will go up like anything. It will become like 10x, 100x productive faster. Okay, just listen to me very carefully. Okay, so a lot of these things are there. If you don't want to, if you don't want some topic, you can delete it. If you wanted to use some conformance level, if you don't want these guidelines, if you don't want all these things, please remove it. Okay, if you wanted to remove any of these things, you can use. If you want to add some things, you can do. Most important thing is if you want a brief presentation or medium or detailed, let's go for detail. Okay, if you want to use any AI images, you can able to click that as well. So what it does is it interacts with the DALL-E, which is one of the image building tools. It interacts with many AI pre-built tools also and brings a presentation with for your content relevant images. Look how beautiful it is. How many of you are getting mind blown? Type out MB in the chat box. Type out in the chat box, guys. Mind blown. Because this is the most interesting tool. But wait for the output. Let's see that. Okay. A lot of people are watching in the YouTube later also. Please type out. Because the moment if you're typing out, you'll engage with this content more. Okay. Yes. If you want to use any image style, you can use. Like let's say you can use dark mode. Okay. Simple. Minimal. Okay. You want to use any model of limit, like let's say stable diffusion, playground 2.5. That's totally fine. Okay, whatever you want, you can able to create it. Ideally speaking, if you create this stable diffusion, it will be fine. Faster image in a variety of style. Faster image with a vivid color, best for illustrations. I would say I can use this one. Okay, let's continue here. Okay, now what happens is it will ask you for some theme. What you want? Okay, we are looking for some kind of a dark theme, right? So let's go for this one. Let's go for this one. So it is showing you some kind of a preview here. Can you see here? If you want to use, I can use this. There is some gradients also available here. If you want to use some kind of a methods here, okay? Okay, if you want to use some kind of a method here, like let's say I'll use this one, guys, because this is, yeah, I'll use this one. Look, there is some gradient also available here. If you want, you can shuffle this. If you want, you can change light theme, dark theme, professional. If you're looking for a very professional quality work, okay? Professional dark theme. Maybe you can choose this. This works better. Simple, right? Now look for the magic. Just click generate. Just have a cup of coffee. Just have a small relaxation. Okay. Look what's happening here. You just have to, I just folded my hands. I'm not doing anything. Okay. Look what's happening. I believe my internet is good. I don't know what happened. Okay. So actually it has provided me the output, but what happened, I'm not sure, because ideally it should provide me the 8 output, right? Just a second, wait. What happened? I'm not sure. Just a second, guys. Maybe my account has got full. That's the reason it is not coming. Just a second. I'll just show you the live demo of this tool, okay? Because this is very important. You can use this. Yeah, fine. Okay. Yeah. So I'm sharing the screen now. Don't worry. Even if the content is not available fully, you can use alternate methods to also create a very good PPTs and all. Okay. Let's try it out again. Maybe we want you can use voice type. On information architecture. Okay. Maybe you can use up to 10 cards. Okay. You can make it very detailed. Minimal. You can use this. Okay. You want to use advanced mode, that's totally up to you. But initially you can try this. Yes. Give this continue option. And we'll take this professional dark one. Okay. Generate. Ideally, it should come. Whatever is your 10 PPTs or 8 PPTs, whatever is the slide number you're given, don't worry, it will provide everything. Okay. It will give you a proper content output and it will also add a great quality for your presentation. It will add a heading, it will add a picture. Look at this. Can you see, guys? Last time the prompt didn't work properly. Now it's working. Look at this. Even if you go and study and make this presentation for information architecture, it would take more than 1 hour for you two guys to do it. Can you see here? Just go for this presentation mode, full screen. Can you see here? Can you look at the quality of this presentation? Information architecture is a practice of organizing and structuring information to make it easily accessible and understandable. The importance of information architecture, boosted conversion rates, enhanced user experience. The key principles is findability, accessibility, consistency. How many of you are getting mind blown? Can you see some examples coming here? Can you see some card sorting method, tree testing, content inventory? Can you see some how people can able to understand this? See, this is most amazing, fastest way to bring your presentations live, guys. So the point here is you can do anything with this use of Gamma tool. Taxonomy, categorization, metadata, in fact, designing intuitive navigation. You can use navigation menus. So I just told you what is mean by information architecture in just one go. There is another tool called Pop AI. Can you see here? There is something called Pop AI. It is very similar to the Gamma tool also. You can try it out. You can use some kind of AI reader or AI writing, okay, AI presentation. Like let's say information architecture. Okay, you can try this. Look at this. I just typed one word. What's happening? I just typed one word. What's happening? Create a presentation for this with minimal style. Look at this. It's already started generating some content for me. You don't have to even take ChatGPT to bring the content here and all. Yeah, if you have a pre-built content, that is totally fine, guys. There is an option in Gamma for that as well, in this as well. But first of all, understand what the software is giving. Okay. And also, if you want to tweak on top of it, you can tweak it. Okay. If you want to add your content, you can regenerate the response and do it. How many hours, how many times you ever you want, you can able to do it. There is no problem in that. Can you see here? Can you see the depth of the content, whatever is it has presented? The depth has gone very deep, right? Maybe I'll just stop it for a moment. Let's keep on generating. Okay, fine. Let us see here. So now generate a PPT. I'm just clicking it here. Look at this. Look at this. For the presentation, whatever the information required, it will only bring that. Okay. For the presentation, whatever is required, it will only bring that. Okay. And look at this. Again, it started giving me some content output and all. Outline is ready. How do I go for the next? If you want more bullets, like let's say, bring simple elements. Maybe we'll just use bullet style presentation. That would be better, I believe. Okay. So you can try using that. Okay, fine. See, look now, it has come in the bullet pointer style. Compared to the earlier sentences, now it has got little smaller, right? Even you can import your content, whatever you're having here. There is no problem in that. Okay. Pop AI is a cloud tool. It's already there in the cloud. Even the Gamma AI, whatever I showed you, it's a cloud tool. Okay. Whatever presentation you're having, it will be there in your account. So you can open your browser in your any window, in your any mobile, any device, and just start presenting. You don't have to worry much. Okay. And meanwhile, let it generate. I'll also tell you another feature. Inside this Gamma, you can also do one thing. If you feel like you want to add more, if you want to even change the prompt, you can go back and do it. If you want to create something else, you can do it. Totally fine. But if you wanted to add something, there is an option called add blank card. Can you see here? This is an amazing tool, guys. The reason being the edit option what Gamma provides is huge. If you want, you can consider some AI content generation. If you want to create some templates, like let's say I wanted this PPT, yeah, you can create it. If you want to create some other different one, if you want to use 3 column, you can use this. If you want to add some text block, you can use this. If you want to use something like let's say 3 column, 3 image like this, so it's all available. Just go for your Google image, drag and drop here. That's it. It's as simple as that. Okay. If you want to use any high quality image or any Unsplash image, this is beautiful, guys. Unsplash is one of the inbuilt tools available here. Okay. If you click it, what happens is the moment it will take you to the Unsplash screen, you can type out the keyword, like let's say running. That running image can be brought here. We want to present something like a visual presenter. You can bring that visual presenter here. Okay. Look at this. I just drag and drop this. Okay. Running. That's it. I just have to double click it. Can you see the magic here? How much time it will take for you to bring the image from Google to here? That to Unsplash is a high quality image. Like let's say if I want to add one more image, okay? If you want to add Unsplash, one more image, one more Unsplash, just drag and drop. If you want to add presentation, just type out your keywords. Okay, look at this. I think it's already come. Good. Wow. How amazing. How quick. Look at the quick and look at the accessibility. Left side, you have the order. If you want to change the order, you can change it. No problem. If you want to create a thumbnail view for it, you can create it. If you want to create a reel kind of view, you can have it. No problem at all. So this is some of the options I'm telling you guys, but you can please explore inside because the limits is like nothing. You can go anything. You can even, in fact, you can put your Google Drive. You can embed a lot of your Figma files. People are saying, right, sir, I know a lot of Figma, sir, I know a lot of Figma. You can put everything here, guys. Just put your Figma file presentation and embed here. Maybe if somebody can bring their Figma embed file, copy paste in the chat, I can do it live and show you. Okay. You can just copy paste it and automatically your Figma mockup presentation will be shown here. How many of you are getting mind blown? Type out MB in the chat box. Okay. So a lot of things, even if you have a Miro file, even if you have a Power BI, people are presenting data, people are presenting some visual skills and everything. You can definitely do it. Okay. If you want, you can bring your PDF file. This is wonderful tool. In fact, a lot of people have PDF presentation, right? You can bring that here. That preview will be shown. Your entire PPT will not come as a pages. It will show the preview. For a certain extent, you have a limited option of changing that. Like let's say, if I'm bringing some PDF file here, okay? Let's take main resume, or maybe we can take something else. Okay. Like let's say, how do I bring the PDF? Okay, I'll bring this document here. Can you see here? It's loading. Actually, it's a quite heavy file. Okay. Can you see here? Can you see the preview has come automatically? If you want to replace the thumbnail, you can do. If you want to redirect it to website, you can do. If you want to add one more image, you can do. That's it. So look at the quality, guys, how it's presented. If you want, you can directly download. If you want, you can see here. See? It's coming, right? It's not a big deal. I don't want this. Okay. I want to edit this. See, the moment if I click it, it automatically goes and opens the PDF file. So you can embed everything, guys, no problem at all, because PPT offers this kind of a flexibility. In fact, Gamma is the new age tool, which I would highly recommend for every designer to use it. If you want to use graph, if you want to use presentations, if you want to use any kind of a pie chart, everything is available, guys, here. And if you want to change any existing method, like let's say, if you want to change the layout method to a point shooter style like this, you can do it, just one click. If you want to change something like this color to yellow, you can do it. If you want to change something with icon with the text, you can do it. If you want to use something like a what you call text boxes, you can use. If you want to use something like a statistics, bar search stats, you can use. If you want to use something like a pyramid, whatever you want, you can able to do this, guys. Are you guys getting mind blown? Are you guys seeing the power of AI tools? So many tools are there, guys. I've just shown you some basic things, okay? But please try to use it. In fact, that beautiful AI is a paid tool. You can try the free version. That Pop AI, you can chat and get the content and create presentation in the next slide. So right now, I have only 5 minutes to explain you, but even it has gone a little higher. But try it out all these tools on your own and experiment it, okay? See, the importance is very clear. You know, the clear communication, the client presentation, your professional development. That is the reason we are doing it, okay? So now I wanted a reflection from you guys. Take any one of your projects, okay? Try to use the Gamma tool and bring the best presentation out of it. If you want, you can use ChatGPT to get some content, no problem. In fact, if you use Gamma in this way, if you go for the home, if you want to create a new, if you want to paste from the plain text, like let's say you have some text in your, what you call, if you have some text in your, like let's say, architecture in a more detailed way. What happens is Gamma also works in a way that you import your text here. Okay. Like let's say if you have some kind of a huge text here, look at this. Look at this, what's happening. So a lot of detailed content you're getting it from the ChatGPT, or maybe perhaps you have a big file of like a Miro, or maybe if you have a big PDF where you all of your projects is dumped like anything, don't worry, copy paste, one click in Gamma. If you put, automatically you will get a great presentation. Okay, I'm just taking the half, guys, because time is not there. Okay, maybe I'll take till this testing and information architecture. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do this. And can you see here? Continue. Okay, look at this. If you want to preserve the information, whatever you've given, you can click this. If you want to condense the information, you can give. If you want to generate a new content, you can do. You don't have to click generate. You can put condense, because we don't want a detailed content. Let's keep condensed. Okay. I want something medium. Okay. I want language as a English. That's okay. I want images to be auto-generated AI images. Okay. And format, I want a 16:9 presentation. If you want a wide presentation, you can use wide. If you want to use fluid presentation, 16:9, totally up to you guys. Okay. If you want to give any additional instruction, like let's say, do not use illustrative images, or use illustrative images. You can give all of this information properly and just click one. And you can use this professional plain. Let's go for a plain presentation this time. Okay. A simple one. Look at this. Generate. Go and have a cup of coffee. That's it. How many of you are getting mind blown now? I just took my content from the PPT, whatever you have created or whatever you worked so far. Okay. And automatically Gamma is giving you great output. On top of it, if you want, you can edit everything. I told you the options what it provides is very, 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 very huge. So don't tell me this word saying, Jagdish, I'm not good in presentation here. I don't know anything in presentation. I'm really bad. Use these tools to get started, even if you're a fresher. Okay. So take one of your project and just go and implement this AI tool and bring the best PPT out of it and pin it in this chat box and type out your top 3 takeaways. What did you learn from this session? Okay, because then only I'll be happy. How did you really engage with this session and how did you learn in a very deeper way? Because a lot of people see these fancy things, watch this YouTube video, but they go back to their life, right? So you need to take action. Okay, so how can you improve next time? What adjustment can be made to engage the audience better? How you can able to bring some story in your thing? How you can organize the information? Already organizing an information, everything is already available. I told you very easily. On top of it, you can do it on your own also and bring it to the Gamma tool or a Pop AI to make it even more beautified. That's totally up to you. Okay. Yes, guys. So finally, we are coming to the end of this session. I wanted you to do this action and I wanted you to go to the YouTube and type out your top 3 takeaways. Maybe you're watching in any platform. I always recommend you to write your top 3 takeaways because If you can't collect this 30 to 40 minute session, you will remember, you will forget everything later. Okay. So do it fast. And also, design presentation is a small part. Maybe I'll say 3 to 4% of the whole equation. A lot of people think this is 95%. That's not true. You need to understand how to build a case study. You need to understand how you can build your research, how you can build your presentation, how you can make the solution presentable for the people. First of all, you need to go through all of this design process before bringing anything. First of all, you need to have something right to present. What will you present without anything? For that, you have to come to the 11 o'clock webinar, which we have on Sunday, to experience it live. I'm going to teach you 3 secrets how you can scale up your design game and get 3x salary in even 90 days. Even if you're a fresher, you can reach up to 50,000 per month in just 90 days using the powerful 6-step formula, which I teach. Okay. So the link is given below in the description. Make sure you click there and register yourself. It's a free webinar. Everybody can watch. And also make sure you subscribe to my blog. In fact, we are writing a lot of good blogs and materials nowadays. So you can able to go and find out your materials over there. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. I wish you all the best. I hope you have learned a lot of things here. I hope everybody would have also taken away a lot of things. In fact, can I see the chat now? I'm also not seeing the chat now. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Yes. Mind blown. Mind blown. Thank you so much. Just now I was seeing that. Thank you so much, guys. And write your top 3 takeaways. Don't just go just like that. Okay. So write your top 3 takeaways and make sure you comment on this video. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys. Yes, Punish. Are you getting clarity?
Yes, sir. I tried out one thing, sir. In 2 minutes, I got case study for one thing.
Very nice. You got it right now?
Yes, sir.
Very nice. Can you share your screen?
Yes, right.
Great, guys. So you're going to see live also. Okay. We have only 1 minute, Punish. You can able to do this.
Yes, sir. First case study I did on this M crop name, sir.
Oh, very nice, yeah. Amazing.
Road challenges. It gave me in 2 minutes.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm really mind blown here. Superb that you're immediately implementing it and getting the output. See, guys, Punish is our student. He's come in the live call. He has did a presentation. It's not his AI generated content. It is this presentation, okay? And then he has generated that. On top of it, if he edits this presentation and put it in his website, look how much quality it will be.
Yes,
Punish, try to find out the Wix plugin is available here or not. Maybe you can integrate your Wix website and try something out here.
Yes,
Okay?
sir. Yes, sir.
Super, here. I'm really happy for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
All the best, all the best, all the best. Do that for all of your presentations, not only for this M Corp and this. You can do it for everything, okay? All the best. Take care.